Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and Warlock just got a legendary that can literally infinitely suck the life out of you, as well as another repeatable, I like they don't want to use echo, but a repeatable spell to go with it. We're gonna go over review these cards if you want to win these cards and suck the life out of your opponent. We have a giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter the giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link down in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So before we get into the legendary, and this is a pretty important card to consider with this legendary, we're going to talk about the Abduction Ray. We got cow art, we can moo in our Hearthstone game. It is a 2-mana shadow spell that reads, get a random demon, reduce its cost by 2, repeatable this turn. I just love that why not make Echo evergreen? It's one of the keywords they have used the most without using it again. It would also prevent issues, you know, Radiant Elemental, I'm just saying, but I think something's gonna happen to that card regardless. But yeah, this is a card you can play as many times as you have mana in a turn. If you have ways to discount this, although I don't think there's a lot of great ways to discount shadow spells in standard. There's some stuff in wild, but even there, it's not amazing. And yeah, you get to keep the demon. It's not like a temporary effect. If it's a 2-mana demon, you can just play it for free. It's just a bunch of value. And then also, of course, we have that whole thing going on with the Archimon, right? You can bring back demons that you played that didn't start in your deck. And this is a great way of generating that. And that's about it, right? It's just a value generator in random demons. They could be complete crap, although it could be funny. You get Doomguard and like you play the Doomguard and discard this and then you can't play it anymore. Obviously, you could just play this more before you play Doomguard, but there's that situation, of course, right? So yeah, bunch of value, bunch of demons, bunch of mana cheat. It's random and mana cheat, my absolute favorite thing in Hearthstone. Yeah, the opposite, but whatever. We live with it. We play this game for these effects too. It's a love-hate thing, right? You love it when it's fun for you, and then you hate it when it screws you over. But overall, do I think this card's amazing? While looking at the next legendary, it might be okay. Might be all right. Again, this ties in with both legendaries really well. We already talked about Archimon, but we're going to talk about another card in a second. I'm not entirely sold that it's enough, even though it boosts 2 different legendaries that you want to play this. Again, this is something you got to play like when you're hitting like 8, 9, 10 mana to really feel worth. Like, you're spending 2 to get that demon -2. It's like, how much can I even really do in that turn in terms of like, you know, tempo and playing on the board? Really hard to evaluate, especially the demon pool. Who knows? And it's from any class too, right? I believe it should generate from any class. Since it's not Discover, it shouldn't be under Discover rules. So you could get a demon from like Demon Hunter, right? So it could be just complete garbage. I feel like it's not gonna be reliable enough. I feel like it's too expensive for the effect that I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, despite the fact of the synergies it has with some certain legendaries that we're gonna take a look at the new one in a second. And in wild, I think it's a 1. I don't think you ever play a card like this in wild. It's so slow, and the demon pull there, my god, the immense garbage you can pull in wild with this is something I don't even want to experiment with, try. It's unplayable there. In arena, really nice value card. You're low on cards, you're like max mana. My goodness, it's amazing in arena. But in terms of ladder, yeah, standard of wild, it probably won't make the cut. And if it does, it'll certainly be in standard. And they'll probably have to do with a card like Kara the Dark Star, or Kari. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, even though it's 4 letters. I'm sure I am. But yes, this is a 3-mana, 3/3 minion with absolutely amazing artwork. It does have a signature. We'll take a look at that in a second, and it might be the best of the entire set. I think Ridiculous Hat said it's his favorite signature of the set. This is Spellburst. Steal 2 health from a random enemy. shadow spells don't remove this spell burst. So very similar to that Priest Holy spell burst legendary we saw. This can just go infinitely as long as it's alive on the board, which might be okay to do because this steals the health. It doesn't give it to your hero anything. So if you play one shadow spell, this is a 3/5. You play another shadow spell, it's a 3/7. And there's always a target because it says enemy. So if there's nothing on the board, you can just spam shadow spells and steal it from the enemy hero. So this can Azurite Snake, right? Steal it, and then they can't heal back up. You steal just 2 health, they are permanently at 28 if that's their starting health. They can't get above that unless they add by other means or set their health to 42 in Priest or whatever, right? So we know how powerful this effect can be and also how horrible it feels. And that's why I feel like this is not made in a very powerful and strong way. It's 3 mana, right? Which is relatively cheap, but to combo it with shadow spells, not particularly the easiest thing. In Wild, it might be a bit easier. In Wild, it might be a bit scarier. But yeah, in Standard, maybe not as much. But got cards like Reverb, you can copy this and start, doing some combo stuff maybe. That can be pretty scary. Obviously, Reverb makes it so it's really easy to die if you do that, but it's something to consider. Cover artists, cards like that. And yeah, you could steal it from a minion, you could steal it from the hero. It just feels like it's not a ton of health you're stealing per proc, and it's not the easiest thing to repeat in the world. And I'm just hoping it's not a great card because I just feel like this type of card is really unfun to face, really unfun, non-interactive if it's a thing that's like, because I feel like the only way this card's really good is if it's like killing you, or I guess it could just be a snowball minion on the board constantly like removing stuff on the board and gaining that health from minions, but it's not even reliable in that way because it could just always go face and then the minions on the board are just left there to kill this. It'll be a really interesting one to see. I'm kind of hoping it sucks because I feel like the effect is kind of unfun, but it's also, yeah, it feels pretty warlocky and shadow spell stealing health. I feel like the flavor is super on point. It's just from a fun perspective, I'm not entirely sure. So do I think this will be a meta good card? Not really, unless I'm missing something. Like I know we just looked at that repeatable spell in that you could do that, play this like 4 times or something, or 3 times with it, but it's still just 6 health. It's not a ton. So and again, then if it dies, I don't know, not entirely sold on it. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 in Standard. In Wild, you have cards like Tamsin, where you can get a bunch of 0 mana spells, shadow spells, and do some shenanigans. But again, you have the Demon Seed there, which makes almost every other Warlock deck kind of pointless, unless it's super aggressive, because Demon Seed just has inevitability to murder your opponent by turn 5 and 6. It just always happens. And until that changes, like, why are we doing anything else for late game strategies in Wild playing Warlock? And this is a bit slower. You got to kind of combo it and build it up, even though, yeah, there's more ways to cheat out shadow spells, but I'm gonna give it a 2 there. But it is definitely a spooky card to me, and it does have an absolutely gorgeous signature here. I haven't got it loaded on my screen. I want to see it. Yes, this signature here, absolutely gorgeous. Love the colors. I gotta say, the signatures of this set I think are the best ever by a lot. Like there are some like the Sifs of the world and Rodens and Phis that are standouts, but I just feel like every signature of this set is a super standout. Too bad they're so expensive and unaffordable. So there we go. I think that's all the Warlock cards. Tune in very late tonight or early in the morning, wherever you are. We'll be having a Mage review. Mage Day will start, yeah, late tonight, early tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.